Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerge from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the New York Giants. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
The Panthers kicker, Graham Gano, set and ready to go as we are off from Charlotte. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Nifty running by Barkley there on first down. He scoots forward for 7 yards, sets him up nicely, 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jones. And this is incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And it's 3rd and short. Here's the offense, and we give you too much power here. We let you highlight the player. Why'd you choose Zeitler?
Because I think the big guys up front never get enough credit. Kevin Zeitler, a guard, tough, nasty. We've got to give him some love.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
He's not going to get me.
From the gun, Jones. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here are the Panthers now under head coach Ron Rivera. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Cam has all the skills that you're looking for. The arm that can do everything, the ability to run, hard to bring down because of his size, but the joy that he plays the game, I think that's his stock in trade. That's his calling card. That's what sets him apart from other players.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Newton gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. And quickly, the starting 11 now for the New York defense.
Leonard Williams was one of the top draft picks coming out of USC, and he's done nothing to diminish the comparisons people make of past greats.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. From the gun, here's Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On second down, McCaffrey evades the tackler, and now some space. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. The former Louisville Cardinal, it's Reggie Bonifant. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable. Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Here we go. You gonna see me in your nightmare, son. You gonna see me in your nightmare.
Out of the gun, Newton. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? This is McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. punching it in from a yard away as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The New York set to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They run with Barkley on first down, and he gets about 5 out of it. Mario Addison in on the stop. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
Eric Reid is a safety that you can use all over on defense, both in the box as a tackler and back deep as a man.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Jones. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's 3rd and 5.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Jones from the gun, he'll throw, and that is incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Ready? Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
On 2nd down and 4. Newton, and they've got the hookup. This is Olsen, and he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Back to throw, Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Newton throwing complete to Samuel, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throwing is Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Newton now, nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. McCaffrey on the counter. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. The shotgun snap for Newton. This will be caught inside the 10.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
40. Ready? Ready? Is the mic. I'm coming. 2 times, 2 times. 3 down, 3 down. Ready?
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Keep it up, keep it up.
And now, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Cam Newton keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Offensively, pretty effective option play there for the score.
Certainly was, and it appeared to me that the defense overshifted and overplayed the trail back, the pitch man, and almost forgot about the quarterback. In fact, they did forget about the quarterback, and he turned it into a touchdown.
Gano for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the final piece to the puzzle was the Cam Newton touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on the drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Took him 5 tries, but he was able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with 1 throw.
I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
On the draw, this is Barkley. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Here we go. Set. 8, read. 54. I got you, Pop. Get it.
Here's Jones, throwing on first down, finds his tight end Ingram, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you. Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs, and let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Break. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here it comes.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now, get field and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Here's McCaffrey, and only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Push him back. Push him back.
Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Completes it to Samuel. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. Newton now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Let me know what you got.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
He's going to look deep for more. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets us one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 39 yards there, a big one.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
Gano now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury, and he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Panther touchdown.
That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Gano for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse.
The 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
And the Giants first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
What we got?
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Looking to throw. Jones. And Tate's got it. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Bandit. Mike 54.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Right there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They blitzed there, but to be honest, I don't know if it would have mattered had they blitzed or not. That run play was going nowhere.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult at times to figure out where that defense is coming from. But if you're committed to running the football, you can get people up on those linebackers, right? Those guards don't have to block anyone at the line of scrimmage. Then get up to the second level and create some space.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Gallman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5, go.
Now Jones operating from the gun. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The sack by one of those consistent D linemen in the game, Gerald McCoy.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
So on 4th down, on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrick Rosas. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter.
But they certainly got dented with that first down run, so now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
Check 55, Mike. Yeah.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Newton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
That's it, baby.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Panthers on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. From the 24, Jones. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards and a Giant first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Set, 8, read. 59, Mike to 59. Coming. Right, Mike to go.
A first down carry for Barkley. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
And you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
23 yards, the final tally. Newton now, pretty remarkable. 14 of 15 through the air, only one incompletion, and another 1st and 10 here. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Ready, 180. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Ready? 180. 47. Check, check, 47. Here we go, here we go.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
Set. Look at it. Mike 29. Hey, they scared. They scared. Set.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Newton, and his throw is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, and now it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Get it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. Catch made by Slayton. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
He steps out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Ready, ready.
Now Saquon Barkley finding room at the 30, and finally taken down at the 36-yard line. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back to throw. Jones to Barkley on the check down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Looking to throw. Jones. And this is Shepard on the catch. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Go now.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Pass. Right there. 54. Right. Let's go.
Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
At the Panthers' 44-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. That's complete left side to Shepard. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Rosas puts this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half. After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away.
This will be fielded at the 6. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And he is closing in on the 100-yard mark for the day.
And it appears that he loved the fact that they're going to play this game earlier. You know, daytime, he's out there running around, feeling good about himself. Whatever his prep was coming in, he was able to get out there quick and fire away.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, here's Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. Newton now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's first down. From the gun, Newton. Wide open receiver, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards that time. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating from the gun, Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey.
From the red zone now, Newton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Newton now to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. To the air again, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now Graham Gano, remember he beat the Giants with a 63-yarder back in 2018. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby. Take go.
Jones operating from the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Come off the ball hard.
Now Jones. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones, he completes it to Tate. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
15 Lonnie. 15 Lonnie.
Yeah, that's what I do.
On first down, Barkley. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, so many times we look at a short run, we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Check pass. Get it.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And that's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down.
Ready.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close the gap.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Newton to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The veteran safety Antoine Bethea there on the defensive coverage. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus of the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Oh, he's got the full package. He can spin, he can juke, he can make you miss. Drop a shoulder on you. Some of that elusiveness we saw at Penn State has definitely translated to the NFL game. Saquon Barkley hit the proper buttons and turned him loose.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. On the run, it's Barkley. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Had a second. Who knows?
Here we go, here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. 54, watch 54. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
On 2nd and 9. Jones over the middle. He's got his tight end Ingram. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 41-yard line. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
This is Barkley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
This is Gallman. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 13-yard line.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Jones now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Back to throw. Jones. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make it quick and make it right now.
They're the offense, the battle for 2. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation. Catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 36 yards on the play.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. It's been an easy day for them.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Newton. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Ready? Ready? You want this? Check safety, check safety. Ready?
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen. And I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far. And maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Newton. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Newton. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way down, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. The field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And the numbers for him, pretty solid, really. He's run it well. He's caught it pretty well, but they're still far behind the 8 ball on the scoreboard.
Not able to use his talents, as you noted, to narrow the gap in the scoreboard. Sometimes it's a bend but don't break, right? He gets his yardage, that's cool. but it's not paying off on the scoreboard. They're not getting the points necessary. And if you're a defensive team, you'll give up that yardage for the kind of lead they have.
That's what I was going to ask you. Sometimes you say, let this guy do his thing. Let's control what we can control elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Take away the rest of the guys. Don't let them hurt you as well. But the biggest one is they've contained him well enough that they've been able to increase their lead.
From the 29, Jones. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Ross Cockrell. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come to the big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Right to the 3. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Here we go. Here we go. We're set, ready? Check, 47. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come on. He don't want it.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd.
The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 40. The 20, 10, and this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it, and you know that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter of play. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Ready? Ready? Yeah, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Check 55, Mike. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
On the ground, McCaffrey trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
This pass complete, Newton finding right, and they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 36. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 36. Out of the gun, Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
Smiles, everyone, smiles, because when Cam Newton and Greg Olsen hook up like they've been doing throughout this game, that's one big reason why they're winning.
What makes Greg Olsen so tough to cover?
I think he really is a wide receiver in a tight end's body. He runs his routes with such great precision and some physical toughness, and he really fights and competes for the ball.
And then, of course, it helps to have Cam Newton throwing it to you.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. A shotgun snap for Newton. Complete to right. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Wright's got it. There, but it brings up fourth. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the player or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Mike, check, 59, 59. There you go. I think you got it, son.
Now Jones, operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bruce Irvin able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
Trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Jones. His throw incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And that takes us from second to third down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
The Giants on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Back to throw. Jones. And he's caught on his sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that will hit and continue on out of bounds.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They go play action here on first down. And caught left side, Olsen. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On first down, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Williams picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Newton now to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Look at it.
3rd and 2, Newton. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. And they had him bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty.
You're not ready. You're not ready. Go.
Jones now. On the gun, he'll throw. It's hauled in by Shepard. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 35-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Check 31. Check 31.
2nd and 3. Catch made by Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards and a giant first down.
First down, Giants.
Down. 90 Wolf. 59. Blue down.
Jones on 1st and 10. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. That's complete to Slayton. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 34-yard line.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Jones heading up here 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Jones. Going to throw again. Now he'll escape. Jones hit, and the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
So now out is the Panther offense as they'll come in and go for the two-point try. From the gun, here's Newton. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, they had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First down.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
Mike, 54. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him go.
Now Jones on first down. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Ready? 50, plant.
54, Mike.
Stay with your man. Play. Now.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones, he completes it to Tate. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Jones heading up here 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back to throw. Jones. The tight end, Rhett Ellison, with it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. 2nd down and inches. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Here we go, set. 60 or.
All right, T, let's go. All right, T.
Fire.
Jones now on 3rd down. It's caught. Shepard. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 28.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Giants.
Set. 15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie.
Danny.
Lead grip.
Jones throwing on first down. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Plays like that, when you see the athleticism of a guy over 300 pounds, you forget that they can do that. They're so athletic.
Yeah, and I love how it all came together. He won the leverage battle at the line of scrimmage. Then he won the battle with his hands to shed the blocker. And how about the agility to get into the backfield and run him down?
Down. 10-2.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Switch.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 11 now. Jones And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing Jones. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. K1 short, and this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing here, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Williams able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. This is McCaffrey on the give. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
The tackle by Leonard Williams brings up 3rd down.
Record.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.